The trees on its slopes were twisted and black, their branches like bony fingers. No birds sang there, only the wind moaned, low and mournful. Stories whispered of people who climbed Horror Mountain and vanished, leaving behind only a boot, a backpack, or nothing at all. Grown-ups blamed the terrain, but kids knew better. Something lived on that mountain, something that watched and waited. Old Man Hemlock, the antique shop owner, claimed the mountain was hungry, not for food, but for light, warmth, and happiness. He'd say, "One step onto its soil, and you feel it, a chill that has nothing to do with the cold. It's the mountain tasting you." Most laughed at him, but I always wondered. At night, I'd see pale lights flicker near the peak, bone white, ghostly. I'd pull my blankets up, heart pounding, afraid the mountain might one day call to me. Horror Mountain loomed over our town like a giant tombstone. And I was afraid I might be foolish enough to answer. Some places, you just know you're not welcome. The oldest story was the legend of the albinos, a family with skin and hair as white as snow, eyes a haunting pink. The villagers feared them, called them cursed, blamed them for every misfortune. One night, a mob marched up the mountain, torches blazing to drive the family away. But the cabin was empty. In their rage, the villagers burned it to the ground. They thought they'd broken the curse, but they'd only started a new one. From that night, the family was never seen again. At least, not alive. Their spirits, it was said, became the pale ghosts of the peak. Travelers spoke of white figures flitting between the trees, sad pink eyes watching from the shadows. Not angry, just lost and lonely. Their whispers rode the wind, a single warning: stay away from the light. The mountain kept its secrets, and the ghosts kept their watch. Some warnings are meant to be heeded. My name is Leo, and I didn't believe in ghosts or curses. My friends Jake and Mia did, but I was determined to prove Horror Mountain was just a story. During our school camping trip at the mountain's base, I dared Jake to climb halfway up with me at night. He bailed, so I went alone. Flashlight in hand, heart full of bravado. The path was steeper and darker than I'd imagined. The trees seemed to close in, their branches clawing at the sky. Every sound made me jump, but I pressed on, determined to prove there was nothing to fear. The wind moaned, and for a moment, I thought it whispered my name. I told myself it was just the wind, but my confidence was fading. Still, I couldn't turn back. Not yet. I had to prove I was right. So I climbed, deeper into the mountain's cold, silent woods. The darkness felt alive, pressing in on all sides. I was alone, but I wasn't sure I was the only one there. The higher I climbed, the stranger things became. The dirt turned pale and crunchy, the trees bone white, as if I'd stepped into a world drained of color. My breath fogged in the freezing air. Flickers of white darted at the edge of my vision, gone when I turned my flashlight. My bravado vanished, replaced by a knot of fear. Then came the whispering, not wind, but voices, soft and urgent, all around me. Stay. Stay. I spun, flashlight trembling, but saw only pale trunks and shadows. The whispering grew louder, closer, hissing in my ears. I ran, branches clawing at me, the white woods blurring past. Suddenly, a tall, white figure blocked my path, cloaked and hooded. I froze, flashlight shaking, unable to see its face, only darkness beneath the hood. The whispers swelled, filling the air. I realized I was surrounded. My blood ran cold. The white figure raised a pale hand, not at me, but pointing up, toward the mountain's peak. The whispers grew urgent. The light, it burns! Suddenly, a harsh blue-white glare erupted from above, a helicopter searchlight sweeping the forest. The figure recoiled, hissing in pain. All around, more pale, hooded figures cowered, shielding themselves from the light. They weren't ghosts, they were people, albinos, just like in the legend. This mountain was their sanctuary, hidden from a world that feared them. The white trees, the pale soil, maybe they'd made this place their own, safe in the darkness. The light was their enemy, burning their sensitive skin and eyes. The legend had it backwards. They weren't warning people away from the mountain, they were warning them away from the light. I turned off my flashlight, plunging into darkness. I looked at the figure before me, understanding at last. I wouldn't let them be discovered. I stepped into the shadows, joining their whisper. Some secrets are meant to be kept, some warnings are meant to be heard, and some mountains are better left in darkness.